How would you describe just the kind of mood around the team right now, Auston?
Yeah, it's obviously frustrating, losing and kind of being in the situation that you're in. But I thought last game was a step in the right direction for our group, and as far as the way we need to play to be successful, the compete level, all that stuff. So, as frustrating as it is to lose, I think. I think you go home after that game, and I think you're proud of the effort that you gave, regardless of the result. And you just got to continue to focus on the process of it all. And tonight's a great opportunity for us to kind of get back on track, and I think we're all excited for that.
It's a different situation for you in your career, just as a leader. What's your mindset in terms of trying to help the team through this stretch?
I think it's just staying positive and continue to do the right things on the ice and leading by example. I mean, you can only control what you control. So for me, it's the work ethic, it's the compete level that I play with, and I think it goes for everybody else. Is just focusing on one game at a time and going from there.
Why do you think you guys are in this situation? Like the first time where you're not probably going to be buying at the deadline. Like when you look back at this season, what do you think got you guys here?
I don't know. I mean, I think you can look at a lot of different factors, and I mean, I'm not going to sit here and speculate on what went wrong. I mean, we've got a game tonight, and that's kind of where my focus is at. Obviously, you never want to be in this situation, but for us, it's tough. It's obviously frustrating, but we got a game tonight, and we got to get ready and focus for that.
What's it going to be like to see Jack on the other side tonight?
Yeah, it'll be great. I mean, he's had. I think everybody from that team's had a pretty whirlwind couple weeks, but him probably more than anybody. But I'm so happy for him. He's an incredible person, incredible player. I think all the attention and stuff that he's getting is couldn't have happened to a better person. So I mean, we're all super happy for him, and I'm happy for him. He scored that goal, so that was pretty big, and changed a lot of our lives. And so just to go through that with him and all the other guys. Obviously, you play a lot of guys. Going from that and playing guys now in almost every single game. It's a little interesting after going from that and then coming back and playing against each other and competing. But no, it's cool, and like I said, I'm extremely happy for him. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
I know you've been tied up with your team here, but have you watched any of his skits, SNL or McAfee? And what do you think of how he's handled all that media attention?
I think he's handled it great. He's got a great personality for that, and I think he's a really laid-back guy, but he's a great fit for it. So, like I said, I mean, it couldn't have happened to a better guy. He's obviously a star player in this league, and for a lot of American kids growing up, I mean, they're going to be envisioning that goal and envisioning themselves as being the next Jack Hughes, and I think that's great for our sport and great for our country as well.
After the game at that news conference, you were asked about how it's going to help you moving forward. He jumped right in there. What did it mean that he kind of had your back in that situation?
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, obviously the both of them. Stepping up like that was obviously nice. So, I think the world of those two as people and obviously as players, they're special. So, it was a lot of fun to accomplish something like that with those two as well as the rest of the team.
Looking back at sort of where things may have gone wrong, how tough is it as a group when you've been together for so long to sort of be in a spot like this where you're not used to being?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously don't love where we are, but we don't stop fighting. So there's hockey to be played, and you never know what can happen. So, honestly, just trying to keep the focus on today and just going out there and playing well and doing everything we can to fight through where we're at and, make the most of the opportunity that you have, as difficult as a spot we're in or things may seem. Personally, just not too much in the mindset of looking back and feeling sorry or being super disappointed with how things have gone. I think not happy with where we're at, but it's hockey to be played, and we're going to keep fighting and keep moving forward and see what happens. Continue to play together as a team and commit to the standard and the level that we want to be at and work towards that.
One end here is obviously professional, John. I would just wonder, with everything that's going on, how important is it to kind of stay with the routine, block out that noise, and stay with your day-to-day process?
I mean, there's a lot of hockey left to be played, so you never take an opportunity at this level in this league for granted. And like I said, you keep fighting. There's no quit. There's no giving in. There's still a level of commitment and focus and determination to continue to push forward and fight your way right onto the very end and see where it takes you. So, that's kind of where the focus has to be. And there's a reason why you work all off season, you go through training camp, through the year, you build habits and routines and things that you do to get yourself ready to play, and things you do as a team individually. And we play 82 of them, so that's try to have that same approach and same attention to detail, and for all of them every single day. So looking forward to getting back at it here tonight, and building off some of the good things we did at home on Monday, and obviously get ourselves back in the win column.
John, I'm just curious to get your thoughts. I mean, you've scored a lot of huge goals in your career. How do you think that goal by Jack is going to change his life?
Yeah, no doubt it's going to be remembered probably forever. You score the gold medal, golden goal at the Olympic Games is really obviously special and significant. So he's a heck of a player, and to have a moment like that, there's no doubt that it will do have a lot of tension for him for a long time. But obviously he's shown that what it's meant, I think, not just for himself, but for the Team USA and Americans, and that's where he's put his attention on it. Hearing him speak about it and whatnot. So, but obviously he's a heck of a player, and we obviously have to contain him here tonight. So, but obviously a big moment for anyone that's in that spot. Obviously we saw what Sid did in 2010, and so unique and an amazing call, once in a lifetime, type of goal. So it's I'm sure incredible for him.
Thanks.
Yep,
Can I just
no
ask
problem.
you one totally separate of this, and that is just the importance of your game day routine.
Yep.
I know a lot of what you do is routine.
Yeah.
Can you just speak to me the importance of your personal routine?
Yeah.
What it is?
I think in a lot of ways, it just preparation gives you confidence, and I've talked a little bit about how confidence is a choice, and I think they kind of go hand in hand. So when you do everything with intention and presence and with joy, there's just something about feeling good and get yourself built up for a puck drop and getting out there to compete and appreciating that opportunity and looking forward to getting out there to do something that you love to do. So, everything that goes in behind that to get yourself, mentally, physically, even spiritually ready to go. That's part of, I think, the joy in it all is the preparation that goes behind into being a professional athlete, high performance, and competing at the highest level. So it's I think it's a big part of it, and something that I enjoy.
Just Oliver, you're wondering what's it like for you this week with the deadline looming?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's obviously a tough time for everybody, no matter what team you're on, and at the same time, you know what you sign up for, and you know that's the case around the league. But I think control what you can control, and go from there.
I'm sure it's stressful for family members as well. I believe you have a baby on the way. What does that do for a week like this for you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to leave that personal stuff out of it, just for my wife's sake, and she got a lot to think of or about at this times. But yeah, I mean, I think you forget that at times that you have other stuff going on in your life too, but like I said, I think we're just focusing on controlling what we can control and go from there.
Have you got better at this point in your career being able to compartmentalize these type of things, that you can clear your mind when it's game time?
No, I think so. I think you get used to it. I think you learn how to live with it a little bit better, and I think, yeah, you're trying to kind of shut that out and focusing on your teammates and staying tight as a group and battle as a group. I think that's what you can control, and that's the mindset that we should have, all of us in here. So, but yeah, back to your question, I think it's obviously tough on everybody.
What have you liked about being a Leaf, playing in Toronto? What's it meant to you?
No, I love it here. I think I said that a couple days ago. I think we love it here. We, as a family, we're super happy to be here, and we want to stay here. So yeah.
But this
Obviously, the season hasn't gone for you guys the way you would like. We're just in Florida. Those guys, the season's not going for them. It's hard to sort of pinpoint when you're a team that's been together for a long time, like those guys or this group has, what goes wrong in a season. It's hard to sort of put your finger on it.
Yeah, I think you can kind of, I mean, obviously you're searching for answers, you're searching for things that you can do better. That's every day. It doesn't really go into around the trade deadline or whatever. You like always trying to get better in different ways. And I mean, I don't think it's the right time to stand here and point fingers. And we're focusing on tonight and focusing on what we have to do tonight to win a game.
What's your sense of the group going into this one? How they're managing everything with the deadline?
Yeah, no, it's obviously. I think it's. I don't go sit around and talk to every guy what they're thinking, but they're obviously thinking about it. It's natural, and it doesn't. It's not any different than the other day against the Flyers. I mean, the deadline's around the corner here, and there's a lot of talk and noise, but you gotta, like I said, you gotta block it out and play.
How's OEL handling it? He's got a baby on the way.
Yeah,
Too, so there's
O's been great. He's been in the game a long time, so he's obviously been through this before, and he's been fine.
Is it possible that you guys will sit a guy for roster management over the next 2 days here with the potential for things to happen?
Not tonight, but it could happen. Obviously, that's but it's not going to happen tonight.
Why is Troy Stetcher on the outside right now?
Just his game dropped off a little bit, and Myers has been out a long time. Came in, played a game. Liked the way Myers played last game, so I'm going to play him again tonight.
What's the message? What's the message to Troy?
Yeah, no, nothing. He owns it. He knows that his play dropped a bit, and he gave us a lot of good hockey, and he's been really good for us. But sometimes they got to take a break and get a different guy in there. So it's a good chance he's going to play tomorrow.
What have you appreciated about Nick Waz?
Yeah, well, he comes. It's sort of like I know what I'm getting every night. I know that his production is not where he wants to be, and we would like it a little higher too. But it's not from doing things right and doing a lot of good things for us. Yeah, he's had some real good opportunities to score more and stuff. It hasn't gone in, but overall we're pretty happy with his game. Like I said, a little more production, but overall he's done a good job killing penalties and just being used in different situations for us throughout the year.
What are the steps that Easton Callan needs to take in the minutes that he gets to see his minutes continue?
Well, his minutes, his minutes were up earlier on in the year. He was playing with different lines and doing different things in different nights, right, with teammates. So, I sat him out. I thought he hit a wall. Sat out a few games. We won those 3 games, and I went with the same lineup coming out of the break, and he's back in now. Now, I know he didn't get a lot of minutes last game, but I will get his minutes up.
So he takes that stick penalty 200 feet from his own net.
Yeah.
Is that something you're talking to him?
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't. And that penalty. Yeah, you got to manage your stick, especially in the offensive zone like that. He doesn't need to get overly aggressive there. It's not a good penalty to take, but it's all those things that talk to him about, and just the simple things in the game. Like, we all know what he can do. Like, he's got great vision, and he's got an engine on him. And he works extremely hard. There's a lot of good things, but it's the wall battles and stuff like that we've been working on with him and discussing with him, and I thought he's getting better. Like, he's a good learner, and he wants to learn, and he's got a great attitude. So I think Easton has grown a lot this year as a player, and he's only going to continue to grow.
This is a new situation for a lot of guys in here, including Auston. As the captain, as leader, what's the key for him at a time like this to help the team kind of get through it?
Yeah, grind through it. Like, he's got to, go out and lead by example on the ice, and the work ethic. And obviously we're counting on him to score goals, amongst other things. That's what leaders do. And just keep everybody in check in the room and make sure we're going out and competing every shift and playing for the team. That's the biggest thing that, as a captain, he needs to handle.
Greg, we see the news about Chris Tanev.
Yeah.
Just given his road
Yeah, well, he wanted to try to come back and play this year, but it didn't work out. So he got the operation and went successful, and he'll be ready for camp next year.
What's the challenge when you're this far into a season that hasn't gone the way you want, and there's so much hockey left to be played? As a coach, what is the task or what's the challenge that you're trying to do for the group?
Motivate them to keep going. You know, you never know. You know, we're going to try to, you know, our goal is to get a win tonight, obviously, and just like it was last game. You got to keep fighting and grinding. You got to have pride every night, every shift. Go out there and work your ass off and play the right way.